Welcome everybody to the Watchlist, your weekly virtual TV guide right here, ready to talk about all the shows that got released on streaming this past week. And of course, at the end of the show, we'll let you know what's coming out next week so you can create your very own watch list. Joining us as always is co-host live from Houston, es Señor Jaime, aka Chewy. What it is, what it was, what it shall be.
I know what it won't be. Like fantasy teams.
That ship has set on us. One league, I'm right in the thick of it. Whatever. Let's wait.
I
It's too
don't
early
know.
fantasy talk. I can't deal with it.
2023, dude.
It's
2023.
2023. This next year, baby. On the draft. Look in the draft. God. But that being, actually, we are getting closer to next year as it is. So a lot of shows coming out next week, and I'm sure the next few weeks. Little holiday delights for everyone to enjoy. But let's get to the good stuff, Chewy, because well, we actually did had three shows a bit ado this week.
Hmm.
The first one, of
And you,
course, is the big one.
to you, to you, and to you.
Um, Game of Thrones, The House of Dragon. Season one ended last week. Your thoughts, Chew, in that? Just real quick. I know we don't talk about the show as much as
Well, we
probably
should.
should. Right, right.
I'm sad that's over because we're not going to see it again until 2024.
2024, of course, because
Sadly enough. But you know what? When it's that good, it's worth the wait. Man, this was for all the fans out there that were worried that it wasn't going to be as good as the first five seasons of Game of Thrones, right? Oh, it was going to be as bad as season six, seven, eight, or well, seven, eight, whatever it was. Those myths were quickly dispelled. I mean, this is a stellar, top-notch production, excellent writing, gripping characters, gripping story. We got fucking dragons of the yin yang. I mean, there's no shortage of drama, of action, of great acting, of great writing. I mean, man, Game of Thrones is back, baby. That's all I can say.
although we did lose one dragon, so that's always sad. Don't get me wrong,
Well,
though.
it was a baby dragon. Who cares?
Dragon nonetheless, dude. You gotta give him a chance to grow,
No,
to find
you
himself.
know, the Dance of Dragons, man. That's what happens.
No, that's true. No, yeah, great season. I mean, yeah, it's definitely it's worthy of its Game of Thrones moniker, no doubt. In comparison to the first few seasons of Game of Thrones.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's great, man. Great acting, dude. The writing is top notch. They resisted. I'm glad the what could have been a big, broad, like all out battle war in the 10th episode, right? They could have led into that based on what
Well,
they
I mean,
set
I
up,
mean,
right? They could
well,
have,
yeah,
or at
because I
least
mean,
started that.
Game of Thrones was notorious, and it's the ninth episode was always like there was always something big, a big
Mm-hmm.
battle, something, right? We had the Red Wedding, we had the storm of King's
Battle of the
Landing, we had
Bastards.
the Battle of the Bastards, the Wall. I mean, everything was always episode. It always kind of built up to the
Mm-hmm.
ninth episode, and the 10th was like the denouement of the season. And I think this kind of was consistently moving the story along episode by episode, even with the time jumps, which I was completely fine with, right?
Yeah.
Because you have to tell a story, and we don't have to get into the minutia of every single detail of everything that happened. I'd rather time jumps than flash movements to
Right.
locations or to
Of course.
areas or parts of plot. And I'm glad there was everything was explained, laid out, made sense. All these chess moves and these major events that led to ultimately where we are now at the beginning of season two.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's great stuff. Really good, excellent stuff from them. So
Are
looking
you
forward to
are
it.
you team green or team black?
Oh, one has more dragons, so
Well, okay, is that what it comes down to?
that's as simple as that. It's simple math. The numbers, man, numbers.
It's a
I
numbers
think
game. All
now
right.
13-3 dragon comparison,
Uh,
right? I think so.
four. They
It's a four.
have four because the three. There's actually one son who's not been shown,
Oh, right, right. Okay, so
but they had a
yeah, you're
fourth
right.
son out
Yeah,
of well, I'll say Hightower, right? But he is a Targaryen, so he's actually what is going to be part of season two. But so they have each one of those
right.
kids has a dragon
So
person.
13-4. There's still it's a huge advantage. So just
Well, 13-12
well,
now. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean,
12-4,
12 to
still a 3 to
4.
1 advantage. I'll take that all day long. The next show that ended, when we enjoyed watching from the beginning, was The Patient on Hulu. Steve Carell, Donald Gleason, of course, playing the serial killer, and Steve Carell's a psychiatrist trying to help him out. Well, At first, he was voluntarily doing that. He was forced to help him out. He was chained to the basement of this guy's house. Chewy, your thoughts on this 8 episode run?
Um, I mean, I thought it was good. I mean, I don't know if it's must watch, but it was a very good Hulu show because they've known to put out some very good dramas, and docudramas as well. But I enjoyed it. I mean, I think from the beginning you kind of knew this is where it was
Yeah,
going to
yeah, it
end.
was. Yeah, it was
I
gonna
don't
end.
think
Yeah,
he was getting out, so it was going to be for him to get out of this. And I think he, as a character and as a viewer, he was relegated to that space,
mhm,
right? And obviously that's what what came to pass essentially after the last episode. But it was very it was. I don't think it had the emotional impact, because you kind of knew that's where this was going, and they kind of tried to spend time, kind of diving into the Steve Carell character and his motivations, honestly, through this inner monologues with like who was that comedian who was opposite him. He was on you know
mhm.
what I'm talking about. He was in Living Color, and he was in so many movies, and now it's a
I think it's
serious
David
role
Allen
for
Greer,
him.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, David Allen Greer. Yes, yes. So it's good to see he's eating again. It's been a while since I've seen him in that Lincoln. But so it may have had a more emotional impact, especially at that last scene where the daughter's reading his letter,
Right.
right? And but like I said, overall, a very,
Yeah, it was a
very
good
good
show,
show.
absolutely. Yeah, and yeah, not much watch, but yeah, it ended exactly how I wanna. It could have gone one or two ways, basically again, and it ended okay. I liked that, wrapped it up well. Considering we knew, I think, I mean, what could have happened in the situation. I'm gonna spoil it, but you know, how was he gonna get out of the situation? It really wasn't able
Mm-hmm.
to at this point. So it ended well. I enjoyed it. So it's a good watch. You can look at 30-minute episode, so it's an easy watch on Hulu. You guys should check that one out. The last one, real
Mm-hmm.
quick, Reboot is one that comedy on Hulu as well that ended its 8 episode run. It's it's kind of very meta comedy with Hulu rebooting a '90s kind of Family Matters type show. Bringing it back
Sitcom,
but
yeah.
updating it to today's standards with both head writers being an estranged father and daughter and all that. Yeah, this one I enjoyed, man. This is a funny show, dude. It really is. Johnny Knoxville, I think, is great. It is Keenan Key, what about his middle name?
Yeah, yeah.
Kim,
Key and
yeah,
Peele,
yeah,
okay,
he's
yeah,
he's
Key and
great.
Peele,
He's
yeah.
always good, but he's so good in this show. It really worked, man. It's funny, man. It's a
It's,
funny show. It's got a lot of big laughs. Paul Reiser is one of the head writer. He's good, and I like obviously I would assume season two hopefully will be coming out. 'Cause I'm in on this one, Chewy.
No, I agree. I really enjoyed it. I'm not sure why some of the critics didn't find that it's funny or as amusing as I did or as you did. What I didn't even notice was the name of the episodes were named after an
Yeah,
90s sitcom. So I think first episode was Step by Step, and then they had, I mean, every sitcom was the name of an
mm-hmm.
episode, but it was related to the story within. And so I was like, oh, I just noticed that right at the end when I was watching the last episode. I was kind of scrolling through the episode, and
Yeah.
it's like,
I caught
oh,
it
that's
by the
funny.
third one. I was like, oh wait a minute. Yeah, it was good. Like I said, it's a funny
Yeah.
show, man. It's a funny comedy. 30 minutes. It's another easy watch. You're looking to laugh. There's not a lot of good comedies out there. Most of the shows we talk about dramas and all that or
Mm,
genre stuff, which of course we should because it's good. But yeah, very so often you get the real comedy. It's a good. It's a definitely worth a watch on all that one. For this week, let's start with the films. I don't know if you got see a couple of them. Well, not Chewy, but those two of them. The first one was on
I did.
Netflix, The Good Nurse. Jessica Chastain's in this. Eddie
Mm,
Redmayne, both you know A-list actors in terms of talent. Based on a true story here, where I guess there's this nurse
mm,
who was killing patients, unbeknownst to a lot of folks, or what maybe it was known to the institutions he was working at, and then randomly at Dr. Death, where things were kind of just swept under the rug. He was allowed to keep working at the hospitals and doing what he was doing. Jessica Chastain, became friends with him, and obviously through an investigation, found out what he was up to. So, very dark story. True, what were your thoughts on this one?
Um, I was. I don't think I was very done in a very compelling manner, to be quite honest. I wasn't really excited as I was watching this. Yeah, I was semi interested, but I couldn't wait for it to end. It was just something. I don't know. It was just very dry,
It's a little too
very
long. The
meh.
pacing's off. Yeah, yeah.
Uh, Yeah, maybe
Yeah, the
that
pacing
too.
was off.
Maybe a bit too long. And yeah, so you know, if you got other things to watch, I'd say pass. I mean, I don't think it's worth
Um,
even talk about
I
more
enjoyed it
beyond
a little
that.
more. I think it was bad. It was well done. The pacing was off. A lot of scenes that they could have trimmed down 15 minutes and really. And you're right. Maybe just emphasize a little more what he was doing. I liked, not liked, but it was interesting the way how
Mm.
he was killing the patients and all that. That was interesting. Um, yeah, yeah. The whole thing with the hospitals is again, it's maddening how stuff like that can occur. The system, how fails a lot of people. In this case, it could have been projected up what 400 patients that could have been killed. They could improve all that. I think they got him on what a handful of them. That he yeah that he
Yeah,
admitted
yeah,
to.
but
So
it's
it's an
at the
interesting
end. Yeah,
story. Yeah.
I mean,
Oh no,
basically,
yeah, it's
he's
like
in jail for the
13
rest
cent
of his
license
life,
or
so he's
whatever.
not getting out.
Some
Yeah,
ridiculous. It's a wrap for him. But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was good. It was fine. Like I said, I enjoyed it. I mean, it's not. I mean, I'm not saying go run and watch it, but if it's a good story and what if that interests you, you should check it out. But this next one here, again on Netflix, All Quiet on the Western Front. This is a German film, war
Mm.
based of World War I. Very grim, horrific look at the life of a soldier, what they go through in battlefield. It reminded me sometimes of Seven Private Ryan. This is really well made, dude. I really like this one. Excellent direction here, the details in there, the very visceral in the scenes. Again, very if the first scene in Saving Private Ryan, a lot of it was like that, very gruesome and graphic in your face, and really put you in the no pun intended the trenches of war, particularly in that area, the Western Front, which is a area I guess I forgot what they referred it to, but
Well, it was in France,
yeah,
so World War I, and so this is the front that was basically established at the beginning and
right, yeah, it
did
was
not move.
yeah,
There was, yeah, it was a stalemate throughout World War I because they were, have you seen, if you've seen
right,
Wonder Woman,
yes,
No
yes,
Man's Land scene, I mean, this is what, if you've seen
yeah,
1917, another great movie, this is what it is, except told from the perspective of the German side of things, right? Whereas those other movies kind of tell it from the French side or the British side, but this is from the German side. And yeah, I agree. This was very. I think this was a remake of a, or
if it
um,
wasn't
and I think it's a type of remake of a
right,
previous
potential,
older
right,
version of this movie.
but yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Um, it was really really. I mean, like I said, I wanted to keep watching. It was that good for me. Even in German and dubbed. I mean, it was still
Oh yeah,
very very
and
well
even at
movie.
the end, like I was like, okay, well, you think it's over? I'm like, all right, the surrender and it's a wrap and those, but things go on. And you're like, oh man, that sucks.
Yeah,
Like
because the order. I mean, it's kind of and I'm not sure if that's. I assume that's historically
I
accurate,
maybe yeah, I didn't
to a
look. I was
certain
gonna look it up, but I
degree.
forgot. But yeah,
Yeah, they look because they had signed an armistice, but the armistice didn't take effect until a certain day at a certain time,
hmm
whatever it was, which seems kind of weird, right? You agree on peace, but you don't. It doesn't go into effect until
right,
this time on this day, and for whatever, and the German brigadier or general, I mean, he's one of these, one of these war hawks, old school, that you'd rather die in battle than to give up type of mentality. And so I guess he instructed one final push for whatever reason.
pride.
It was futile, right? Because it was if they hadn't gone through it after 4 or 5 years, this was not going to. And even if they did, there was still a peace agreement in place. So it was nothing. There was literally nothing to gain and everything to lose. So he essentially relegated his battalion
Yeah,
to death by making this senseless charge at the end. Pointless because even the other side, you see the French soldiers and they're just celebrating. They're just wait, they're at the countdown, right, where they can
right.
formally, say the war is over, right? And so, but you see that they're just literally just get mowed down, die a senseless death, and even the main character, the Paul character, we're watching from as a kid, excited to forge his signature to become part of the German ranks, right, and prove himself for the motherland, to essentially being, literally stabbed in the back and dying alone because all his other friends had already perished in the war. Was
Yeah,
was
it's
just
a
very
good scene by the way
compelling
too.
and
Very yeah,
and
very good. Yeah, this
yeah,
is one of the
yeah,
rare extras.
absolutely.
This is one of the 10%. I always said 10% of the movies on Netflix are really good. Good to great, right? Small percentage. This is one of them, no doubt. This is you guys should
Mm.
definitely check this out. You're a war buff and all that. very well made. It's very good, and despite it being 2 minutes, 20 minutes,
Hmm.
2 hours, 20 minutes, it flows very well. Again, all goes back to pacing. Very good pace, where it
Yeah,
slows down at the
yeah, it
right
does.
time, and you get the like 3 or 4 great action sequences it has in here, war sequences. So yeah, really well done. Absolutely highly
Yeah,
recommend
yeah.
for me, no question about it. On the show side, we had kind of a mixed bag this week. Mr. Midnight, first one to release. Mr. Midnight, Beware Monsters, based off a Indonesian, or is it, or Filipino? I don't know, a property. I forget. Um, was it Malaysian? Okay, the comic book,
Malaysian, I
whatever the
believe.
case is,
Yeah,
kind of fantasy
yeah.
world. We have these kids who can noticing a lot of paranormal activity, if you will, ghosts and stuff like that. Particularly one of the kids, and they're trying to want to investigate further into it, but no one would take them seriously. They believe, so they create this on-air persona called Mr. Midnight to kind of talk about it. People kind of chime in and mention stuff that they have seen, so they can go and investigate it themselves, etc., etc. Um, Off the bat, I'll say I'm out. Honestly, I gave it 3 episodes. There's only 3-minute episodes.
You gave it
Yeah,
three.
I just
I gave it
I put,
one.
and I was thinking about the first one. I was like, ah man, but it was a Monday. It's come out early, right? It was 30 minutes. I'm like, all right, let me.
Yeah, there's a
Well,
reason
right,
it came out. It dropped
obviously.
on Monday. I'm
So I'm
just
like,
saying.
let me continue watching. And yeah, it's not good, dude. It's terrible.
No, I stopped at one and
Yeah,
five
this is
minutes, and I
yeah.
was like, I'm
It's geared
out.
more for
That's it.
kids, but not even. I would say the kids, the characters here are. I think two of them are terrible actors, so bad, and their reactions are just goofy and ridiculous. And the monsters themselves, when they show, it's amateur hour. It really, it's. I'm like, oh
Yeah,
man,
it is.
okay,
It is.
it's not good. Avoid at all costs. It's terrible show. Great idea. I like the premise behind it. I really do. But they made us, yeah. If they would have put,
Just not done
this
right.
is
Yeah.
exactly what I thought Imperfects was going to be like. It wasn't, obviously. Right, but yeah, no, right. But I'm
No,
thinking, okay,
Imperfect is
Imperfect is
great
going to be
compared
really
to
like
this,
bad
man.
and cheesy.
Jesus.
This show is exactly what I was hoping it wouldn't be. It's just really cheesy. Yeah, not a good show. Disappointing, no doubt about it. I was kind of looking forward to this one. Um, Cabinet of Curiosities, Guillermo del Toro. His creation, I guess. Is 8 independent. And it's an anthology series. Horror, dark tales. 8 different directors. And like any anthology, right? They're all the same to me in terms of the quality. You're gonna get some really good ones, you're gonna get some bad ones, and you get a couple just kind of fall in the middle. This was no different, right? When it hit well,
Hmm.
right? I liked a couple of them. Doing the
Hmm.
autopsy, I thought was really cool. Yeah, yeah, it was great.
Oh, that one was great,
Yeah.
man. That was fun. That one and the one with Rupert Grint, Harry Potter of fame, when he's looking for his sister and he
Oh,
crosses
yeah,
over.
yes, correct, correct.
That
Yeah,
one, I
that was
really
really
like that
good.
one as
And then the
well.
other one I liked. Those are the three that I liked. Was the one with the painting. I forget what the main character is. Where that he with the artist. He has Marty McFly's dad's in it. Um, yeah, but
Oh, that one. Okay, yes. Oh no, that one has Barnes, the guy who you can not you, but Eric confuses with the elephant
yeah. They kind of
or
look like, yeah.
Dumel,
Josh Duhamel look like
Duhamel.
Josh Duhamel light.
Yeah,
But
Ben
those are the three that
Barnes.
really stood out. The
Yes.
production, all of them were great. Some cool ones, but some other ones. But particularly the first two. I started watching the
Mhm.
first two. I'm like, first one I was okay. It missed something. And the second one I didn't. I hated the second episode. It was terrible. I'm like, oh man. But I pushed through because they dropped 2 a week. 8 total. And like I said, there was some good ones.
Mhm.
There's some good ones in there.
2 a day.
But yeah, it's a mixed bag.
Mhm.
Any other standouts on this one too? Or those that you liked? Yeah.
No, those are the three that really stuck. But like I said, those two, the top 10, the twins one was one
Yeah.
enjoyed the most. The last two, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know, there were just two out there. I mean, even like the penultimate one had a pretty stellar
Yeah. Peter
cast. It had the
Weller.
guy who played RoboCop
Mm-hmm.
in it. Peter Weller said had the
I forget his
comedian.
name, but yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
uh, yeah, yeah. He. I know him from The Voice. One of another Netflix show.
Yeah.
And Disenchantment. He plays one of he voices one of the devils and
Yes. I
whatnot.
think
so that's where I
Sophia
recognize him
Battelle.
from.
What her name is?
But
Sophia Battelle. I forget her name. She was in Kingsman and
Oh yeah,
Mummy.
from yeah, she was in
Yeah, she was in it. Really
yes,
good
that's
cast, and
right.
it started off
Yes,
really cool, but then it just kind of fell apart in the end.
yeah. Then
Yeah,
it
it
just
just
went
and the
off
last
the
one was kind of
rails.
it was fine. I didn't. It was dull. It was a little dull.
Dull.
That
Then it
could have
was
been a 30
dull. It
minute,
was just
35
dull.
minute one.
It was dull.
But for the most part, listen, but there was some good ones in there. But if you can
Yeah.
check it out, yeah, check out again the autopsy with I love that. That was really good. Yeah, and the one with the crossing. I forgot the name of the episode, but yeah, there's a couple in there.
Mhm.
They're all really well made. If you're into like makeup and monsters, all that kind of stuff, every episode gives you that. You know, some really cool design and all that. So yeah, absolutely. Um, Again, an anthology coming up here is Tales of the Jedi. Disney Plus, of course. This is Dave Filoni's little baby here. Animation style is as same as Attack of the Clones, Clone Wars. Pretty much
Mhm.
10, 12 minute shorts, really focusing on Ahsoka and Count Dooku, essentially, right? Which I didn't know. And
Count Dooku.
yeah, same
Yeah.
thing. A couple were fine. A couple I didn't care for. Particularly the Ahsoka ones were pretty weak. Yes, whatever. It was fine. Animation was okay. I mean, I don't know. I mean, again, we talked to you, giving us stories of stuff that we really want to see, or okay, we're going back to the same well, right? I mean, okay, we know about these characters, and we just retell these stories and stuff. That whatever, it's fine. But what do you think, Julie?
No, I'd agree. I mean, the best ones were the ones with
Yeah,
Count Dooku, because they kind of give us his complete arc, right? Where he's there. The first episode we see him, he's with his young Qui-Gon Jinn as a
oh
Padawan
right,
to
right, yeah.
him, basically it explains his turn to the dark side, essentially, right? Or what motivated him to change sides, really, because he was seeing firsthand what the Senate
Mm-hmm.
had become, what the Republic had become. And so you see that first episode, we kind of goes a little bit too far. And then the next episode, where he's there with Mace Windu, and doing the investigation. That was the last one where he's actually interacting with the Emperor and killed our infamous
Yeah,
Waddle, the Yoda like Jedi Master, where it's never explained what happened to her. Now we
we
know.
were wondering.
So those, yeah, those were very good. And then the
Eh,
Ahsoka ones were
Whatever.
okay. I mean, yeah, whatever. The first couple were like the last one. Obviously these are shorts, so I think they left
Right.
it too short.
Yeah.
Especially for her story.
Yeah,
But
with her, didn't hear anything
whatever.
really
It
interesting
is what it
other
is.
than just a training montage, which was kind of cool, but
Yeah,
whatever. But yeah, it was kind of an
yeah.
odd choice. I thought it was gonna be more like the first time we got these kind of original, these shorts.
I thought it was gonna be these were gonna be six
Well,
separate,
right, yes, yeah, yeah.
unconnected,
Mhm.
tales, right, of Jedi. I mean, but not that. But here it's just tales of Count Dooku and Ahsoka. It
Right,
wasn't
that's what
tales
I'm
of
saying.
Jedi.
That's why I was watching like, okay, all right, interesting. So whatever, it's fine. But whatever, they're short. You can watch them in an hour. Yeah,
it's
I
good
guess
fill
if that's the
into
kind
the
of
next
thing, and
Star Wars
fine,
show,
go for it. But
whatever.
yeah, whatever, it's fine. You can take it or leave it at the end of the day for me anyway. This last one, oh,
Which hold on, but speaking of which, obviously more bad news coming out of Skywalker camp. The Taika Waititi movie
uh,
pushed back.
it's
That
not
movie's gone.
gonna
That movie's
happen. It's
gone.
not
It's
gonna
it's it's not
happen. Yeah, it's
happening.
it's a
It's
wrap,
not
and
happening. It's gone.
it's funny
Kaput.
because
Yeah,
in
yeah.
relation to that, oh my god, I forgot his name. They Paycheck, 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 okay, Paycheck, whatever his name is, the new CEO of Disney anyway. He actually
Mhm.
told LucasArts to stop announcing films until they actually has something to announce. They keep announcing about the movies, and I get the all get the. It's a mess. It's a mess.
All right, something
Or
happened.
something.
Creative differences or
Yeah, he's like
whatever, man.
they
It's
want
like,
he's
yeah.
yeah.
Like I said, I remember that was D23 or whatever it was, where they had the big wall of spaghetti, right? And they had they were writing the coattails of the Mandalorian, and thought, okay, everyone's excited. Let's throw everything up and out there, and those titles and directors and all this stuff. And I think from that screenshot, I don't think any of
Yeah,
them are left. I really don't. I really don't, man. I think they're all, been, squashed or put into the circular
yeah.
bin
It's
for
it's
whatever
totally
reason.
just whatever.
Well, actually, I take it back. The only one that made it was Boba Fett, House of Fett.
Well,
That's it. That's the only one that's been made, and that wasn't very well. That was like rushed and thrown out there quickly, but
yeah.
whatever.
God, that's Star Wars. We love you, but Jesus, you're a disaster. Um, Seriously.
Read the books.
Just watch the
You want
originals and
Star
call
Wars?
it a day.
Read the books.
This last show on Netflix, the Bastard Son and the Devil himself, I believe based on existing IP, I think. And maybe it's just more like as about this kid who's the son of a witch. It was two factions of witches. It was like the blood witches, and I forgot what the other ones are called, Fairborns or something, whatever it is. Each have distinct
Mm.
powers. They're at odds, right? So this kid's the son of one of the ones who's been accused of, I guess, killing off one of the other factions, and he starts discovering his powers, and everybody's going after him. Essentially, Chu, your thoughts on this one?
I'm actually enjoying it. This is it
Yeah,
looks
it
like
is.
it's a British production. Mostly, I mean, I recognize some of the actors from
Mm-hmm.
Sex Education and whatnot. So another British show that's on Netflix.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Well
good.
done, and we love that show. And so I recognize some of the faces and from those shows and the other British crime dramas and dramas I've seen from on various channels. So I'm only 2 episodes in, but I'm enjoying it so far. It was definitely way better than the other Mr. Midnight. It was like I couldn't wait to turn off. And this one, I'm like actually looking forward to the next episode and kind of
Yeah,
seeing
this is actually
where the
pretty good.
story
I'm actually
goes.
foreign. And yeah, it teeters the YA line, but doesn't really get into the weeds of the Y stuff, which I'm happy about. Because the main characters are kids. I like the main guy; he's really good, and his girlfriend or whatever, his love interest,
Hmm.
really good. It's really well produced. There's and you'll see next episode right towards the beginning. Well, yeah, I think first half there's a couple of visuals really cool, but the second visual is awesome. Like it's just one of the coolest deaths I've ever seen in a while. It's really whoa, man. I was like, oh man,
Yeah.
that's badass. In accordance to one of the powers that one of the vampires have. I'm not, what the witches have. Very cool.
Hmm.
I was like, at that point, I was like, okay, I'm in. I'm in even more than I was before.
Well, I saw one where they killed one of the faction, one of
No.
the
Oh
guards or
wait.
whatnot. Um,
No.
this is in the
No.
cornfield where they're chasing.
Oh.
No. I know it's not that, but that's
No.
one
No.
I
No. It
saw. I
was
was like,
cool.
oh,
Yeah,
that
I got
was
some really
kind
cool
of cool.
stuff.
Where the guy,
Yeah.
yeah, where the guy's on top of her, but it's like kind of like absorbing her blood through her
Yeah.
skin, and she's dying there, and the sister just lets
Yeah.
her
No.
die.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, that's
It really
that's
was.
cold revenge, man, because she made
Yeah,
fun of her. Like, holy cow,
yeah, that was
okay.
kind of cool actually. But this one, yeah, I don't want to say anything yet because you haven't. This power has not been revealed yet, and it will very, very soon. But I was like, oh
Okay,
snap,
yeah.
very cool. Yeah, so it's got some really cool stuff, and yeah, I'm enjoying the show. It's really cool, man. Yeah, it's way better than obviously the other one with Mr.
Hmm.
Midnight. It's not gonna blow you away. There's some similar tropes, and by the second episode, I was like, okay, I kind of figured out what's going on here, and they revealed that very soon, Chewie. But it's kind of obvious who their villain is and what's really going on. Okay, so the writing's not the
Hmm.
best in terms of that, but well made. I'm having fun with this one. Like I said, with that, the characters are good, right? It's got some cool visuals. Okay, that's all you can really ask for, right? Is they're not going to be must watch, right? I'm not saying this is because it's not, but it's still good, enjoyable. It's fun, good kind of fantasy,
Hmm.
and with the magic and the witches. The mythos they present are very cool. They set up the world really nicely, and they keep introducing more stuff to that world and how
Okay.
things really work. Very cool. So I'm really enjoying this one. This is probably one of the highest recommends of the week, aside from, of course, All Quiet in the Western Front, which is probably the top thing this week, no question about it. Next week, a lot of stuff coming out next week. Um, lost Chewy here. I apologize for that, folks. Give me 1 second. There we go. We got Chewy back, I think. I'm not sure. Oh, there he
Yeah,
is.
I don't know. I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah, little technical difficulties. Sorry, folks, about that.
Something happened.
You're back, and it's all good. I was about to start talking about next week, Chewy. 6, 7 things coming out, various shapes and forms. Not as spread out as I would like it to be. I think it's a little bit tight in the end. But that being said, starting on the 31st on Monday, why not release something that's non-Halloween related? What the hell? Inside Man on Netflix. This looks interesting though. Story, but I guess it's more kind of reminds me of Hannibal Lecter, right? It's, I guess
A
this
little bit, yes.
investigation going on. There's someone in the inside man, who is helping solve the crime or something along those lines. It actually looks pretty good. I'm not sure if it's an American show or not, to be honest with you.
No, it's not.
Okay, I think so. But it looks interesting. On the third is Blockbuster. Random Park
Mm,
stars on this one, a comedy about the last
the
blockbuster,
last
right?
blockbuster.
We saw the documentary, which is really, really good. I think early this year or last year. I like,
Last year,
yeah, I like
yeah.
Random Park. I mean, so okay, like I said, we talked earlier. There's not a whole lot of good comedies out there, and I hope this might be one of them. The trailer looked kind of funny.
It
Um,
looked pretty funny. It's
yeah,
good premise, so let's see.
yeah. So this might be fun. On HBO Max, same day. Eh, Titans, whatever. DC show, the worst
Season
season
4.
four. How it's gone this long, I don't get it. Um, But whatever, whatever. It's the worst of the DC shows by far. On Netflix, we got a movie coming out, Enola Holmes Part 2, of course. Millie Bobby Brown playing the young sister of Sherlock Holmes, who's played by Henry Cavill, Superman himself. I like the
The
first one.
former
The
Witcher, from
former
what I
member, yeah,
hear.
he's had one more season to get coins and he's out. I assume to pursue his Superman endeavors. Of course, I'm making that connection there. But yeah, I like that first one. It was fun. I enjoyed the first movie. It's really good. And the second one I've heard good things about. It premiered a
Mhm.
couple weeks ago. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. On Peacock on the 4th.
TikTok
Three things on the 4th is Young Rock. I forgot what season it's on. Three? I don't know.
season.
The two? No, not two.
It might be 2 or 3.
Is
I
it
don't
two?
know. They've broken it up, but
Right.
I think this is part 3. Whatever. It's actually
Oh,
NBC/Peacock. So
right. But
I've enjoyed the first 2 seasons. Like I said, where I think we're big fans of The Rock,
of course.
and so this is kind of a dramatization of his life
Mhm.
through different ages, as a young kid, as a high schooler, and obviously after college, and his football career, and an early
Right.
wrestling career. So it's very funny, it's very poignant, it's got heart. So
Yeah,
it's good,
yeah,
and we love
it's a
The Rock.
yeah, it's a
So
fun. Yeah, of course, the Rocket. Come on, that's all you need to say. At the end of the day, young Rock, old or Rock, whatever. Who cares? On Roku, which is something we had never mentioned on this show.
first, this is a
The
first.
first, I don't know if it's the first thing they have on Roku specifically, but it's the Weird Al. It's weird. It's a Weird Al
The
Yankovic
Weird Al Yankovic
story
biopic
with
starring
it's a Harry Potter.
Harry Potter himself.
Yeah, Daniel Radcliffe, who's in this.
It's
Actually,
a
I heard good things about it. It looks like I mean, I don't have Roku, so I won't get to watch it. I know you. I think you do. No.
Oh, I do. I'll watch it.
Okay,
Yeah, I got
so
come on because I have two Roku devices. So
okay.
obviously, with the Roku device, you get Roku channel
Right,
for
right.
free.
So we'll let you talk
And
about that next
so
week. I heard good things about this. I heard it's actually very
yeah.
satirical, very funny. So, not
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I mean, Weird Al was a satirical character
Well,
to begin with.
true.
Or a person. He's not a character. He's a person, right? He is
Right.
a person.
He's
He's
a
still
person.
alive.
No, yeah, of course, yeah. He's
And so he came to fame by making satires of popular music. So instead of beat it, it was eat it. Instead of Ricky, it was what was
it was
it was
once there
somebody
was
funny.
Amish Paradise instead of Gangster's
Yeah.
Paradise. He's got so many. Like a surgeon, like a virgin.
Yeah,
He's got
like
a
a
bunch. You name.
virgin.
I mean, if your song,
He's
if
parodying
your song was
every
parodied,
popular
yeah,
genre
yeah,
across the last 20 or 30
yeah,
years, and that was his career.
yeah,
And look, man, like I said, he made a career out of it. I mean, with
absolutely, yeah.
him and his accordion or
Yeah.
whatever that thing is. I mean, there you go,
It
man.
worked, and if your song is parodied by Weird Al, you made it.
Yeah.
That's just basically right. That was like the rite of passage. But yeah, so that's coming out. Like I said, that looks interesting. And then the last thing on Amazon Prime, same day, the Policeman's My Policeman, an original film
Mhm.
through Amazon Studios, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe so. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, correct.
Harry Styles in it, which can't say I'm too excited about, but whatever. This
Well,
is a period piece back in the 50s, three friends entangled in some kind of love triangle kind of thing. If
mhm.
I'm not mistaken. One of them was being gay. He was a closet, it's 1950s. Obviously, he's closeted, of course, as a gay man. So, looks interesting. I'll definitely check that one out. So, a lot of things. Like I said, a lot of movies, not a lot of shows, but just a few movies here and there. But Blockbuster, I'm just the one I'm kind of my eye on. That one looks. That could really, I can go either way, don't get me wrong, but it could be really funny. So last stuff there. So that being said, I think that takes us to the end, Chewy, where we can suffer through our fantasy football teams in a couple hours. Um, so
Well, it starts about 30 minutes or so. First game up.
Oh, that's right. We got a London game. That's right. Yeah, well, whatever. But all that being said, of course, we appreciate you guys joining us week to week. Subscribe, comment below, share, like, etc. And we see you guys next week to create your new watch list. Take care, guys.
Peace.